The final autopsy of King Tutankhamun, determining the cause of death.
For over a century, scholars have debated a central question regarding ancient Egypt. How did the young pharaoh Tutankhamun die? At the age of 19, he ruled a significant empire before his abrupt death. Since the discovery of his tomb in 1922, the circumstances of his demise have remained a subject of intense historical inquiry. Theories such as murder or a fatal chariot accident have dominated discourse for a century, yet recent evidence suggests these explanations are likely incorrect. Advances in scientific analysis, particularly through virtual autopsy techniques, have begun to clarify the true cause of Tutankhamun's death, as revealed by his skeletal remains and genetic data. Howard Carter's opening of tomb KV62 revealed significant archaeological treasures and introduced enduring questions regarding Tutankhamun's death. Initial examinations of the mummy indicated possible trauma, including a hole in the skull and missing portions of the rib cage. These findings led to widespread speculation about a violent death, with two primary theories prevailing for decades. The first theory is a political thriller: murder. The prime suspects? His ambitious advisors who had the motive to seize the throne. The supposed murder weapon? A blunt object to the back of the head. It was a compelling story, one that Egyptologists debated for years. But in 2005, a CT scanner delivered the first major plot twist. The scan revealed that the hole in his skull was likely created during the mummification process, or possibly by Carter's team when they removed the famous golden mask. The murder theory, a thrilling story of palace intrigue, was suddenly sidelined by forensic fact. The second major hypothesis suggested that Tutankhamun died as a result of a chariot accident, with the presence of 6 chariots in his tomb supporting this view. Proponents argued that a high-speed collision could account for observed skeletal injuries. However, virtual autopsy and advanced imaging revealed a significant fracture in the left femur rather than the extensive trauma expected from a chariot crash. Additionally, the chest wall damage was likely post-mortem, caused either during embalming or by the excavation team. With both the murder and chariot accident theories refuted by scientific analysis, the actual cause of Tutankhamun's death appears to be more complex and multifactorial. Recent autopsy findings suggest a combination of underlying health conditions and external factors contributed to his demise. Contemporary understanding of Tutankhamun's death is informed by 2 pivotal studies. A comprehensive CT scan conducted in 2005 enabled detailed internal examination of the mummy, while a 2010 study analyzed the DNA of Tutankhamun and his royal relatives. These investigations, utilizing thousands of CT images, facilitated a virtual autopsy that revealed a range of health issues. The evidence indicates that his death resulted from a combination of chronic conditions present since birth. The virtual autopsy identified significant skeletal abnormalities, including deformities in Tutankhamun's left foot, consistent with clubfoot, and Kohler disease, a rare bone disorder caused by insufficient blood supply. These conditions would have severely impaired his mobility. The presence of 130 walking canes in his tomb, many showing signs of use, supports the conclusion that these were functional mobility aids rather than mere symbols of authority. Given his physical limitations, it is plausible that his femoral fracture resulted from a fall. In the absence of antibiotics, such an injury could have led to a fatal infection. The 2010 DNA analysis provided further insight into Tutankhamun's health. Researchers detected DNA from Plasmodium falciparum, the parasite responsible for the most severe form of malaria, with evidence of multiple strains suggesting recurrent or chronic infection. Additionally, genetic analysis indicated that his parents were full siblings, likely Akhenaten and his sister, a practice intended to maintain royal lineage. This inbreeding increased the risk of genetic disorders and may have compromised Tutankhamun's immune system. In summary, the cause of Tutankhamun's death was likely multifactorial. Evidence suggests that congenital physical impairments, recurrent malaria, and a femoral fracture contributed to a fatal sequence of events. His compromised immune system, possibly due to inbreeding, may have hindered recovery from infection following the fracture. The prevailing theory is that complications from the injury, potential septicemia, and severe malaria collectively led to his death. Thus, Tutankhamun's demise is best understood as the result of intersecting genetic, pathological, and accidental factors.